Okay? How? How to detach from the body and how to detach from the sense organs. Verse number 61. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha vashe hi yasyendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. Sonali.
Therefore, having controlled all the senses and concentrating his mind, he should sit for meditation, devoting himself heart and soul to me. For he whose senses are under his control is known to have a stable mind.
Yep. Here some sadhana is being given. Some steps of sadhana, actually practical sadhanas are being given. Therefore meaning, don't just block the objects by closing your sense organs. You have to give it a channel. You have to give it an outlet. And the outlet should always be something higher. The outlet should always be connected to Bhagwan. And therefore, for that, if you take it one step even further back, means you have to have a goal. The most important thing is that there should be a spiritual goal. There should be a purpose to your life which you have identified. So that means all this comes in the word therefore. Having controlled all the senses and so control of senses means mind is in control. Mind is controlled means intellect is in control. That means intellect is trained. Then concentrating the mind. At that stage only you sit for meditation. And then sit for meditation and do what? Don't ask for Lamborghini and villa. Devote your heart and soul to Bhagwan. Okay? And those who have done all these sadhanas of intellect being trained, controlling the mind controlling the senses, sitting with a concentrated mind, giving himself heart and soul to me, those people are the ones who are called Sthita Prajna. Such a person is called Sthita Prajna. Let's go to the meaning. Sarvani, all. Tani, those. Yukta, disciplined individuals. Yukta, who are yukt, joined, disciplined, trained. Samyami, restrained their senses. Samyami, restrained their senses. Asita, should sit. Matparaha, devoted to me. Rephrasing this line, it says all those disciplined individuals who have restrained their senses should sit for meditation devoted to me, meaning devoted to Krishna or devoted to the Supreme. He, for yasya, those whose indriyani, senses, vashe, controlled, tasya, his, pragnya, wisdom, pratishtita, steady. For those whose senses are controlled, his wisdom is steady. Steady. See, like Riya and Simran and Niti and Nandit, all this younger generation, once they are going out into the world, it's like an onslaught of stimuli. And in our days, the onslaught was only physical. Now it is virtual also. Media, internet, whatever. And we had this onslaught only when we went out of the house. Here the onslaught is happening even within the house, within the confines of our own private space, because there is the information highway is coming right up to your bedroom. So much of struggle they will have to face right from a tender age if they are not trained. Maybe their buddhi is also not exposed to these techniques, not exposed to this knowledge. Ashwini also, I should have said. They are the ones, is so important that they are aware that this onslaught is going to happen. And this onslaught is not necessarily only pleasurable objects. They will have to face pleasurable things, they will have to face disgusting things, they will have to face cruel behavior, they will have to face ignorant behavior. Some experiences will be wonderful, some experiences will be horrible, and without knowing how to stay equanimous in good and bad situations, they will be tossed about on the stormy seas. Sometimes some good thing happens, oh wow, and some one person has to say something bad, one person, you monkey, donkey, whatever. Then that person will go into severe sadness or hurt, or we know all these emotions. Therefore, this ability to stay afloat, the ability to stay centered, the ability to create that kavach, the ability to create a psychic shield around you, the ability to be responsible for your own emotions, the ability to be responsible for what is happening from outside, the ability to see that somebody is behaving badly because of that person's gunas, and whatever that person says need not necessarily be true for me. It is that person's wrong thinking that is making this person behave like this. And why are we talking about children? Even adults are prey to this, right or wrong? One wrong thing said by your boss, then you are in anger, you are in depression, that evening you must have a peg or two. What is that? I mean, like, are you such a little, have you given the remote control of your life to somebody else, that someone presses one button, then you have to have a drink. If someone presses a button, you have to have chocolate cake. Somebody else presses a button, you have to, go shopping and buy the latest Gucci bag. Whatever, You have given full control of your life to somebody else. And this has to be taught to our children. This is priority knowledge. This takes precedence over maths, history, geography, and whatever else you all learn. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita is giving us the technique now. The first thing we have to do is not identify with our 10 sense organs and action organs. Very difficult. Definitely very difficult. How to not identify? How can I master this? I can use one or two methods. And the easiest method is to surrender them to Bhagwan. This is not my body. It was loaned to me. Whose body is it? Bhagwan has gifted it. I give it back to Bhagwan. I have to return this body back to Bhagwan intact, as pure, as wholesome as when I was born with it on day one. Can you say that you have kept your mind as pure? And body means what? Not just this haddi buddi, this mind also. Can you say that your mind is as pure today as the day you were born? Where has that innocence gone? Where has that unconditional love gone? Where is that glad acceptance gone? We have been given a beautiful equipment and we have abused it. We have been given a beautiful equipment, and when it will come time to give it back, Bhagwan will say, Arey, I gave you something so beautiful, I gave you something so pure, I gave you something so unadulterated. What have you done with it? What have you done with it? So this is the first thing is, remember it's not yours. It's in your possession on loan. And surrender it back to Bhagwan. So what does it mean to surrender? God bless. What does it mean to surrender? You give your sense organs back to Bhagwan and say, you do with them whatever you think is correct. My will not interfere. You guide me, but we surrender conditionally. We don't surrender unconditionally. You guide me everywhere except when it comes to chocolate cake. One is like that. Like a pure bhakt can do that. It's not mine, it's yours. You do as you want. I give you full right to do whatever you want with the sense organs. Very difficult. I understand it's very difficult. Then what to do? Use all your sense organs in the service of Bhagwan. Use yours because they are His. How dare you use it in your service? They are His. Use it in His service only. And there was one king, King Amrish, a very famous bhakt, known for his bhakti. So the example goes that every time he used his tongue, he used it to chant Bhagwan's name. He used it for kirtan. He used it for speaking the leelas of Bhagwan. He used it for saying the names of Bhagwan. So use the sense organ of tongue instead of criticizing people, instead of complaining, instead of giving gali, instead of giving some shrap, instead of saying you are dash dash dash. Take this tongue and whatever you speak, make sure it is not abusing the tongue. If you cannot say galis, if you cannot sing kirtans, if you cannot do jap, if you cannot do katha, at least say pleasant things. Then it will be in the service of Bhagwan. And here is where your triple filter test comes in. Don't be chalak in that also. Then King Amrish with his ears. What did he do with his ears? Listen to the kathas of Bhagwan. Listen to bhajans. Listen to the songs of Bhagwan. Listen to the tales of Krishna. If you're using your ears for anything else, you are not doing service of Bhagwan with your ears. With his eyes, what did he do? Darshan of Bhagwan. He gazed at the deity of Bhagwan. He saw the beauty of Bhagwan. He saw the... Why do we wear jewelry? Why do we wear jewelry? To make us look beautiful. Do you know why they put jewelry on Bhagwan? When jewelry is put on us, we look beautiful. When jewelry is put on Bhagwan, the jewelry becomes beautiful. Okay, to enhance the beauty of the jewelry. It's a Bhakt's way of thinking. So, with your eyes, see beautiful things. And what if there is nothing beautiful to see? You are in some dirty place.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes and see.
Then you'll have accident while walking.
But memory of a beautiful thing is there. So we can
See beauty in everything.
See beauty in everything, because everything is Brahma only, no? So at least even if it is not a beautiful thing, just remind yourself, everything is Brahma. Everything is Brahma. That is enough. You have seen beauty in that. And with his touch, what did Amrish do? With his touch,
Seva of Bhagwan.
Seva of Bhagwan, and he massaged the feet of Bhagwan's bhakts. The story goes that he massaged the feet of the bhakts, devotees of Bhagwan. So with his touch also, he did Seva of Bhagwan. And with his nose, what did he do? He smelt the incense. He smelt the ittar which we put on Bhagwan. He also smelt the prasad which was being offered to Bhagwan. With that, he put his nose also in the seva of Bhagwan. And with his feet, they say, King Amrish did what with his feet? Tirth Yatra. What else? Parikrama. Going to temple, going to Tirth Yatra. And with his head, what did he do? Bowed down, absolutely. Bowed down in surrender to Krishna. And with his mind, Naam Smaran, remembered Bhagwan, remembered. Thus what he did is he subdued all his senses by engaging them in the seva of Bhagwan. Why do our senses go out into sansar? Because they have not been engaged in the service of Bhagwan. So one method is engage your senses, and this is where upasana comes in. This is, at least if you are doing puja, you are putting ittar, you are putting flowers, you are putting bhog, you are putting all these things. You are at least 1 hour, I am to saying 1 hour, at least 5 minutes, your senses are engaged in the service of Bhagwan. Better than no minutes. Better than no minutes. At least for 5 minutes, you are surrendering. ठीक है, at least 5 minutes. Okay? So this is, one is you surrender to Bhagwan. Here are my senses, they are yours. Do as you please. You cannot do that, which is tough. At least use your senses in the service of Bhagwan. Then Gyan Marg gives us another method, which is probably the most difficult method. Through Gyan, through understanding, you start using the Niti method, which says, this body is not mine. You have to do logical understanding, logical, rational mind has to go through the process of Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshatva. Lot of training, lot of time goes, and only when you have done all those steps, then you can come to that stage which I told you, I am not the body and the body is not mine. Neither are the senses mine, nor. So then, who is feeling hungry for that masala dosa? Who is getting attracted? Who is getting? You tell me? The sense organs. The little I which says, this sense organ is mine. Who is getting attracted to non-vegetarian food? Who is getting attracted to masala dosa? Who is getting attracted to alcohol? Who is getting? So that you have to go through the vivek. Then you have to, once vivek is trained, you have to go to vairagya. Once you've developed vairagya, you need the shat sampati to keep it going. It's not just 1 minute I remembered I am not the body. For the rest of your life, you have to live with that. For that, you need titiksha, you need samma, you need dhamma, you need uparama, you need shraddha, you need all these things. Then that finally you come back to mumukshatva, which is yearning for Bhagwan, which you can get in one step with bhakti. That is why bhakti is so easy. But we want to do the long way because the long way shows we are doing something. And in bhakti, you don't have to only surrender. Areva. So easy.